Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another Senderos webinar, this time with our lovely partner, Estancia Los Potreros, in Argentina. A very beautiful, authentic, small riding and hiking and nature estancia. I'm here today, not in the same place, although it might look like it, but I'm here today with Kevin Begg, owner of Estancia Los Potreros, this lovely gentleman with a beret. And Georgia will be helping us. Georgia, the marketing and hotel or lodge manager, there she is, will be helping us, giving you a little bit of a tour and insight into Estancia Los Potreros. And so, yeah, we'll start with a short presentation and then we'll have a little bit of a view of where they are. And then, of course, there's always time for questions. So if you want to put anything in the chat box or just raise your hand, then let us know. And as always, you'll get a follow-up and recording of this afterwards. So, yeah, over to you, Kevin.
Good morning to everyone. Good afternoon. I know in the UK and Europe, but here it is a lovely morning. And we are going to try the impossible today. I'm going to do a quick presentation for those of you who don't know us, go through some of the details of the estancia, and then we're going to try to do a walkabout. Obviously, I may well be an expert on horses, but anything that has to do with technology is a problem. So here we go. I'm going to try to share a presentation with you. And Nicola, if you could tell me that you can see it or put your finger up to me.
Yeah, that looks great. That looks good.
Great.
And then,
Excellent.
yep.
Yeah.
Everyone else
So
can see that all right? Yeah, thank you.
great. Excellent. Well, I'm just going to go very quickly through a few slides so that you can get a feel of who we are. This is a historic estancia of Argentina. It dates back to 1574, but it is now family operated by the Begg family, my family, and we have been the owners of the estancia for just over 100 years. Maximum 12 guests. We have 7 bedrooms, of which 6 are double bedrooms or twin bedrooms in most cases, and 1 single bedroom. All those bedrooms now have, and we'll show you later on if we can, they all have ensuite brand new bathrooms this last season. We also have, and that's why I'm connecting with you now from one of the houses on the estancia, Starlink internet in all our guest rooms and all the area of the main house, stables and saddle rooms, etc. We are based right in the center of Argentina, and I'll show you a map now, in the province of Córdoba, in a mountain range called the Sierras Chicas. It is unknown, it is beautiful, it is not flat pampas, this is a mountain range, and it is the unknown beauty of Argentina. We are also a working ranch. This is not, and I always try to stress this is not a hotel. This is a working cattle ranch, 2 words that I'm not great with, but it is real and authentic. We breed Aberdeen Angus and we breed several different breeds of horses. I will go into that in a second as well. As you can see from this map, we are right in the center of Argentina. And in actual fact, we are only 15 minutes drive away from the second largest airport in Argentina. You can get to everywhere in Argentina on a daily basis today from our local airport. The whole idea of the past that you always had to get back to Buenos Aires is no longer the case. You can fly on a daily basis to Iguazu, Salta, Mendoza, Bariloche, in the summer season, El Calafate, and Ushuaia also every day of the week. Buenos Aires even has 20 daily connections with Cordoba and is only 1 hour's flight away. We also have fantastic international links as well to Santiago, Lima, and Sao Paulo on LATAM on a daily basis. We have Rio daily with GOL. There are a few flights that have just started to come in that aren't on this map. You can now fly to Colombia on a daily basis, and you can fly to Paraguay on a daily basis. We have 2 flights to Panama. Those of you who have mainly US guests, a lot of our guests come through Copper Air on a link from Panama to Cordoba. That's a direct flight twice a day, and I understand that they are going to increase that to 3 times a day in the summer season. We have a flight on Air Europa to Madrid, and that is 4 times a week. I am reliably being told that that is going to increase when Air Europa are able to acquire further aircraft. The Estancia itself, as I said, is a working ranch. This is about a house and buildings that are over 250 years old. This is about what we call rustic elegance. It's about luxury, but with a touch of antiquity in it. Our idea here is that guests come and partake in everything that we do at the Estancia, and I'll talk about activities in a little while, if time permits. I jump immediately into the activities that our guests would undertake when they arrive at the Estancia. I don't like this slide because the Estancia doesn't work with the idea of having a list of activities that you hand over to your guests. This is about your guests arriving here. We pick them up at the airport. We will open a bottle of wine when they arrive. We'll sit down with them and we will tell them what is happening in the Estancia at the time that they're with us. And then we try to match up their wishes with what is happening at the Estancia. Obviously, horse riding is our forte. I own 120 horses. We do a little bit of polo as well on the Estancia. And obviously, the gaucho experience. I'll talk about that in a second. We do guided and non-guided walks. I like to call it walking because I wouldn't say that it's hard trekking what we do on this Estancia, and I'll also show you some of the maps. It is the growth area of this Estancia. Lots of bird watching. For those of you who do not want to walk, ride, there are always drives across the Estancia, and there is our brand new swimming pool where you can sit down and just have a gin tonic and enjoy the view. Our day activities are also complemented by our evening activities. Every evening on this Estancia is slightly different. We have wine tastings of not only local wines of this province, but we like to do wine tastings from the north of Argentina, from Patagonia, from what we call El Fin del Mundo, and obviously our main wine region, Mendoza. We have a very popular, I would say the most popular night, which is called the Night of the Chef, La Noche del Chef, where we all congregate in the kitchen. We will make empanadas and raviolis and breads. We will throw a lot of flour around, and our chefs will show us a little bit of Argentine cookery. We do the same thing on our barbecue days, where our guests can participate in the producing of wonderful beef on our what we call asados here in Argentina. We also have music nights. Our walking, we've produced these lovely maps of the Estancia. Our guests can go off by themselves if they wish. We will drop a picnic along their route. We will obviously attach a radio to their belts in case they get lost. But as of this season, we now have dedicated walking guides led by our guide Amber, who was here last season and has now developed our walking excursions. And this is really a growth part of the Estancia today. But why would someone come to an Estancia in Argentina? Why is this a must on any itinerary in Argentina? You may go to Buenos Aires, you may go to Patagonia, you may go up to Iguazu, but you will always see an Estancia. The history of Argentina is built around Estancia life and cattle farming. That is where the wealth of Argentina came from. Why do guests come here? That's because they can become a gaucho for the day. They can be part of our life here. It is not a show, this. We don't show what we do. We like our guests, if they wish, and 99% of them, that's why they come here. They partake in our daily activities. This estancia is a 6,500-acre working cattle farm. It's got beautiful walks. It's got lovely areas to visit, but I think our 120 horses and our 700 Aberdeen Angus cattle are the real showpiece of what we do. We have 5 gauchos full-time working at the estancia. They're very young. Their fathers worked for us. Their grandfathers worked for this estancia. They love to share what they do on this farm. I think I've spoken about our horses, but if you're a horse lover, obviously this is the place to come. Can I remind our agents that and tour operators that on the horse riding side, we do have a weight limit because of the specific breeds of horses we have. And that weight limit is 14 stone, 90 kilos, or 200 pounds. Also, a growing part of what we offer our guests is the participation not only in the farm work of the estancia, but in our food and wine side. It has become a real strength that we are able to have our guests come into our kitchens at any time they want, into our new barbecuing area, and become just part of what we do. The food we serve here is, wherever possible, either produced by ourselves, by our neighbors, or the region of Cordoba. We try wherever possible. Obviously, our beef is ours. We try to produce as much of the vegetables as we can, and if we can't, we source everything locally. So looking forward, where are we going? What is the ideas behind this estancia? Obviously, our productive side is very important, but that is accompanied by the tourism side. We have recently become, in the last 2 years, members of the Long Run, and we're focusing obviously on sustainability, but also on our local community. Our cattle side is very involved with our local university, and we are developing a relationship with the university. We're also developing, and have so for many years now, a relationship with our local primary school, and that is very important. We also have a program at the moment of restoration of the old buildings on the estancia. You may have seen in our photographs a little bit of what we've done with our rooms, our bedrooms, and now we have brand new bathrooms in all our rooms. Obviously, I spoke earlier on non-riding activities on the Estancia are very important to us as well. We've taken on non-riding guides this season. So now I'd like to do the impossible. I'm going to flip from here, hopefully, to
You stop sharing first of all, Karen. I think that might help.
yes,
There we
thank
go.
you. And I'm going to cut my volume here and I'm going to move to my phone.
I'm going to see if I can pin the
Hello?
phone. And yeah, we can see the phone. Now, if everybody wants to try and pin that one onto their into their gallery so you can see it better, um, that
Can
might.
you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Well, while
Spotlight for
you're trying to
everyone.
pin,
Yeah, I'll do that.
there we go. Yes.
So what they're going to do is take us on a little tour of the area of where they are on the site of Estancia
So,
Los Potreros.
yeah, so I'm actually standing in what we call the carpenter's house, looking up to the main house. You can see the ride in front of me is about to leave with our guests in a few minutes. And in front of me, oh, you can see the horses coming out. That's very well managed.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Those are the Peruvian horses that are going out. They're brought in every morning. We select the horses for the ride. And that worked very well, Georgia. Excellent. We're
You
now going to
did.
turn. We're now going to turn. And this is the inside of one of the two family houses that we have. This is the sitting room. My dog, Gilly, obviously. Yeah. We're going to move in and I'm going to show you one of the bedrooms. If I'm going too fast, please let me know.
It looks good from here, Kevin.
Right. Thank you, Nicola. This is what's called the stone bedroom for obvious reasons with the stone walls. This is a double bedroom. And then if I can just show you the new bathrooms. They're all, these tiles were painted locally in our local town. This is stone tiles. We've decided to go with walk-in showers because I think most of our guests today appreciate that more than the old tubs we used to have. I am sure that there are some guests that will say they preferred the old tubs. Now, I don't want to fall down the stairs, but we're going into the second bedroom, which is called the family bedroom. And I'll quickly show you. Same thing. Bathroom is very similar, very simple. And I'll come out. And then I come through to a slightly larger bedroom. This bedroom here is a double or twin. And in actual fact, you can add a third if you have a third bed there. I remind our tour operators that we have a minimum age of 10 unless you take exclusivity or buyout of the estancia. You can do that with as little as 6 adult guests. And then just before going to go outside and see the old veranda, and I'll come back in again in a second to take any questions. But there we go, Estancia Los Potreros. Nicola, I hand over back to you, and I'm happy to answer any questions you would like me to answer.
Great. Thanks, you, Kevin. That worked very well, actually. We lost you a tiny bit on the veranda, but actually,
Yep,
that seemed to all work well, which is good. Um, Great. Thanks very much, Kevin. That was a really good overview of the
pleasure.
estancia. Now, yeah, any questions from anyone? I'd be very happy to take take some questions either in the chat box or make yourselves known to us, and we can hopefully answer those for you. Is there any availability from the festive season to the first week of January? From Katinka at Scott Dunn.
Um, until the 31st, Georgia tells me. I've got Georgia beside me. Yes, we have availability over Christmas. I believe we have availability from the 6th of December up till 31st, up till the 31st, I'm told by Georgia. So
Actually, we asked you for that, didn't we, and put it in our latest newsletter, so it should be there as
yes,
well. But
it should be. Yep. Yep.
that's great. There was something. Oh yeah, how long do you recommend staying, and what's your minimum night stay?
We have a minimum stay of 3 nights. I would say that most of my guests that are coming on a tour of Argentina will, on average, stay 4 nights.
Great. I
If
would
they are
recommend.
horse lovers, obviously, I have guests staying up to 3 weeks, but that's that's slightly different. Those people who come specifically because of our horses, their average stay is 7 nights. But we do take people as little as 3 nights.
Kevin, we can only see a chair. We can't see your face. I don't know whether you
Ah, good.
you might need to turn the camera
There
around.
we
There
go.
we go. That's better.
I'm going to sit down.
There we go. Um, oh yeah, there was another question, but I was going to follow that up with another one. Open all year round. Are you open all year round?
No, we're open 8 months of the year. We close for the winter months of May, June, July, and August.
And quite often in those months, you do quite a few renovations and updates and things, don't
Yes,
you?
our renovation program, which started just over 2 years ago, is only undertaken in those months. So it doesn't affect our guests being here. Our first season, as I said, we renovated all the rooms and bathrooms. And this season, some of the outhouses and staff housing, and obviously a new pool deck and pool area.
You also have had something new for this year, didn't you? It was this year or last year, in that you opened another area for dining and for potential yoga sessions called the
Uh,
Establo. Is that right?
that's correct. Yes.
Yeah.
We converted, we don't really use stables here because all our horses live out. And we converted the old stable block into a dining area. It's open to the front, but it's covered. We have a fabulous barbecue area, and we have meals there and activities. We do have a couple of yoga groups that come every year, and they use that as their area, indoor area, for those sort of activities.
Yeah,
Our,
that's great.
our barbecuing days with our guests, where we show them what we're barbecuing, etc., and they can partake in it, will take place there as well. I've talked about a lot of beef, but I'm sure I will get a question about vegetarians. I would say 20 to 30% of my guests are vegetarians. We do not only barbecue beef on this estancia.
And also the vegetarian dishes were just so. I mean, Georgia, who we saw earlier, she manages the lodge and is excellent at doing. She's a vegetarian, isn't she, or was perhaps,
Yes, I
or
think she's
flexi,
something like that. A flexitarian.
and
Yes.
so she
Georgia,
has.
my Georgia's my general manager,
Yeah,
but she was our chef, and therefore makes sure that everyone gets a section of the
a
pie,
rounded
if you
meal.
see what I mean.
Yeah,
Exactly. Argentina is not well known for its vegetables, but this estancia is.
right. And yeah, I totally agree with that. They were really, really great, varied meals. And delicious meat as well. Okay, we've got a few more questions. Do you have horses suitable for 11 to 12-year-old riders?
We do. We have 120 horses, so we have um, horses suitable for absolutely everyone.
Any age, any
Um,
ability, any confidence level,
yes,
that kind of
yeah.
thing.
Um, and we don't have one ride a day. So we'll have two in the height of the season, we'll have three rides going out. So those people who are not so confident don't have to worry. And those people who are great riders will go off by themselves and do something else. Every ride on the Estancia has two guides, obviously a local who knows my Estancia, i.e., one of the gauchos, and then we guarantee English speaking. And this season, we also guarantee French speaking guides on the rides.
That's
Um,
great. I didn't realise that.
um, Obviously, a lot of our rides have an activity because we're usually working with the cattle. And therefore, you may find your ride going out with several gauchos, not just the one.
Right. Um, what else have we got here? Any advance schedule for the local polo matches, and is playing polo an option for clients?
Yes, playing polo is an option. I would say that it's slightly more difficult to fit in on a 3 night stay. Um, we have had the problem in the last 4 years of having extreme drought, and therefore the polo ground not being we not being able to use that polo ground. So we always say it's an option, but people should inquire beforehand, um, because it is very weather um, related. Not only if it rains a lot, then you can't play, obviously, but also if it's extremely dry, which we have had 4 years of drought. Luckily, this year has a bit more rain. But so we don't want to disappoint your guests. We like to say that it's a nice surprise when they arrive if we can play.
Okay.
If they specifically want to play, don't forget that this is polo for beginners, um, and therefore you should request beforehand.
Okay, so can't be guaranteed, but interesting to know that before they arrive,
Yeah,
because there is a possibility for longer stays.
yeah.
Are activities included in the night rate? Short answer, yes, but you can
Yes.
elaborate on that a bit.
Yes, we have an all-in rate. Whilst you're at the estancia, there is no extra cost unless you want one of these little red hats, boinas or berets. We have a little shop that all the proceeds of the shop go to our local school. But yes, everything is included. Transfers we quote, but they're not included in the rate. We're happy to organize those transfers. The only reason why we don't have them in our rates is because the transfer companies do not want to quote long term. We have our rates going all the way out to April 2027 now.
Okay, great. 27, that's good. Where are we? Do you have set barbecue days or is it at random?
No, we do have a set week, but we obviously understand that a lot of our guests are coming in for 3 or 4 nights, and therefore we try to organize that week so that everyone gets a little bit of something during the estancia. One of the problems that arises is that people read our 7 night itinerary and obviously want that in 3 nights. That is obviously impossible, but we try to create the impossible if we can.
Yes. I feel like even I was there for 3 nights and I got such a rounded experience of so much that you had to offer anyway. Can a non-polar player learn? I think you actively encourage that, don't you, if you are able to put polo on?
Yeah, as in, I'm not sure if we are the place for a polo player. Um,
Okay. Yes.
yeah, I think if what you're looking for is polo and you're a polo player, then you should go to the one of the dedicated polo estancias of Buenos Aires. We are a place where you come and experience a little bit of Argentine life. And if that is polo, so be it. But it's for beginners, it's not for polo players.
Great. Thank you, Kevin. I think that's all the questions, but do put anything in the box or let us know you're there if you have any others. Um, I think one of my main takeaways of staying at Estancia Los Potreros is that it just felt like a really relaxed, comfortable, familiar place to be. It felt like a hosted stay in that everybody eats together. You generally do activities together, and if you don't want to, you want to do something else, and that's absolutely fine as well. But you really feel like you're taken care of from the minute you wake up to the moment you go to bed. It's yeah, it's a very kind of intimate and but relaxed feel to it as well, and these very old traditional but very well kept buildings and property, um, and it's yeah.
Yes, I agree with that. I think it's, and I repeat what I said at the beginning. This is an estancia stay. It's not a hotel. It's a place where the slightly more adventurous guests of yours would want to come, where they can feel that they are actually part of what we're doing. Um, and I know that's difficult to show, but it is what we do. Yeah.
Great. Well, we haven't had any other questions in the chat box. um Hannah says thank you very much. Would it be possible to summarize the flight connections to from Cordoba in a follow-up email? Yes. So in the follow-up email, I'm actually going to include all of the questions that were asked. So you're going to get an essay of a of an email. Um, but from there, you can just refer back to it. And of course, any other questions you have, I'm always
I'm
here on the email.
Nicola. I'm happy to send you my presentation as well.
That would be
And
great.
if you want to share that with everyone, I'm happy to do that.
Yeah, perfect. I'll send a link to that. Um, and yeah, anyone who has lovely timing with the horses, that worked very well. I'm very, very proud of you two for working that one out. Yeah, so they're going into high season now. So if you do have inquiries coming up for between now and January, get them in quick.
Yep.
And yeah, hope to get some clients from everyone. But thanks very much for joining, and of
Thank you.
course, we're always on email if you need us.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Bye.